So we got this cleaned inside and out. And this fuel pressure regulator was on here, and to get the hose on, it was kinked going up because it was basically against the intake manifold right here. So I think it wasn't allowing pressure back into the tank, which was holding too much pressure into the fuel rail. Put it on here, and it seems to be doing a lot better. So yeah, let's wait for Sydney's parts to come in, and then we'll get the timing belt knocked out, show her how to do all that, and how much of a pain in the ass it is with the engine in the car. So see you then. Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're gonna be working on Sydney's car again. We just got a bunch of parts in for it. We got her timing belt and water pump kit, some new plug wires, valve cover gasket, oil pan gasket, and a new oil pan itself. We're gonna start with the water pump and timing belt, and then try to get this thing actually back on the road, and then move back to all the other things. The water pump is cracked and won't hold any radiator fluid at all, so getting that fixed should at least be able to take it down the road for more than 5 minutes. Then move on to everything else. Also, I broke my foot, so Sydney's gonna be doing majority of the work this time because she has to, because I'm not very mobile. So hopefully Sydney's cut up for it, but we'll see. And before anyone asks, I broke my foot being stupid. There's a couple of you that probably already know, but that's all I'm gonna say. So let's get into it.
Why are you showing my butt?
I didn't. And that is the timing belt cover. Alright, now the fun part. That's the easy part. So we got the valve cover off. Next we gotta get this to top dead center, which is piston number 1 at the very tip top, and then you'll have these two cam gears. They have up on it.
Yeah.
You can see it says up. Get that in focus, yeah. So you'll see this start to go up, and then it'll stop and start to fall back down. At that very top is the piston at the very top. And then these should match. These should be pointing straight up, and then there's 2 notches right here. See that notch? See if I can focus. That notch right there. And there should be one matching right here. And those should line up with the top of the head. And then your head and the block are both in time. So we want to take it apart like that. When we put it back together, it should be good to go. So to do that, we need to put this guy back on the crankshaft and turn it a little bit. Yeah, stop.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have to loosen tension on this guy. To do that, see down here, right here.
Mm-hmm.
That is the tensioner pulley, and this bolt is holding it tight right now. So once we loosen that, we'll lose all tension on the timing belt. So that should be at 12 or 14. gonna be on there tight. Oh, I think you got it.
I did.
Keep going. Now you should be able to take the belts off. This is the tricky part. You know, the belts around this. You gotta remove it. Which means we gotta drop the motor. So we gotta put something under this to keep the motor up once we release off this. We gotta jack it up.
Okay.
So, the time belt is off. Let's figure that out. So we got the motor all stabilized. We are now taking this mount off. That bolt Sydney's doing right now was already loose. Oh man, this car is gonna be so much fun. Well, this guy is broken. I don't know if me welding that back together will be good. So we might have to get a new motor mount. Let's loosen this, get this one out, and I'll go back on the timing belt. Well, here's our mount. Well, it's toast. We're just probably gonna have to order a new one. So now you're good to just take the timing belt off. Okay. Well, it wasn't too bad. Hey, there's the gates. That's what we're replacing it with. So we got Sydney gates, water pump, and time belt kit. Best of the best. Well, it's not the blue belt, but it's still pretty damn good. Blue belt's like the racing belt. So this is our water pump. This is the tensioner. This one should spin pretty good. Okay. And this is the part that we're actually replacing because it's cracked. We'll find out once we take it apart. So, looking at this, we gotta take the other one off, right? These are our 4 holes that are gonna have bolts, so we gotta release.
Okay. That one doesn't have a hole?
Nope. So those should be for that.
Okay.
Alright, so let's go take the other one off. So as we're taking them out, I'm putting them in their respective holes. Because if you notice, a couple of these are a little bit longer than each other. So if you put the longer ones in the wrong spots, you will mess some shit up. So Cindy's got one more to do, and then the water pump should be out. Are y'all ready to see this? You want to take a guess while it was leaking? So we're gonna show Sydney how to do this the proper way, because you are not supposed to put this shit all over here. I'm guessing they reused this gasket? I don't know. But this red RTV is not supposed to go on here. And don't be cheap, just go buy a new gasket. Oh man. So, let's get the new one on, show Sydney the tricks to doing it so this doesn't happen, you don't have leaks and whatnot. So, let's get to it. When we're installing this, when you're putting it on, the gasket likes to do that because it's a tight little area. So to prevent that, I usually like to take some gasket maker. I got my Honda Bond and put it in little corners. That helps keep it on there so that doesn't happen. You just put a little bit, not a lot. You want me to put it on? Or do you want to put it on?
You can put it on.
You scared?
Sure.
Are you scared?
I'm more scared about tightening anything.
Okay. Pumps on. What?
It wasn't in the camera.
Huh?
It wasn't in the camera. You can stick it right there.
This little nipple goes on this guy right here and just pivots on it. Now we need to get this spring on. So that little hook side will go right here. The big hook side goes right here on the tensioner. You'll probably want to get you one of these. Makes it a lot easier to work with. Bam. So to get this timing belt on here, we have to get these cam gears in sync. Once you line these two notches up with this little line right here. And the easiest way to do it on the LS motor is using these two punches. There's a hole right there. And this punch goes directly through. And gets it where we need it to be. And then yeah, you get the bottom one lined up, and there's a mark right here. And there's a mark on the oil pump. You gotta line those up. Once you get all those lined up, get this on here. And we'll do that next. And I'll show you what to do with the tensioner. We got the belt on there. Now we need to tension the belt. Put a flathead right there and push the tensioner up and then tighten it. And you don't want this side or this side to flex more than 90 degrees. And this obviously needs to be tightened down too. What? Now we gotta turn the motor around a couple times to make sure everything stays in time. Okay, everything is good to go. Up inside. I stripped it. Tiller stopped by to get his camber arms made up. We just got all of this done. Got the motor mount back in. We had to take it out because the threads on this were just gone. So I rethreaded it to a lug nut spec because that's what I had in. It's in there. Looks kind of ghetto, but it tightened up good. So I think we should be fine. Now we just gotta throw the alternator belt back on, drop it off the hoist, put the new valve cover gasket back on, throw some water on it. We should be good. like a 2 or 3 minute drive, and see if it overheats, and then get a full tank of gas with this fuel treatment. So I see you at the gas station. Yeah, there's no thermostat in this thing. It's staying way too cool. We're recording still?
Yep.
So as suspected, I don't think there's a thermostat in this thing. We got to the gas station and it got colder. And I did ghetto wire the fan back in, thinking, you know, that the thermostat's gonna regulate. So there's that. So another thing we have to fix. Let's get some gas in it. All right, we got a full tank of gas. We'll put the gas treatment in there. Let's go for a ride.
I don't know.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
We'll stop and make sure nothing weird going on. Sure, nothing crazy. Go for a longer drive. Wheel bearings apparently. It's rolling really smooth. Oh man. We'll be back. So day 2, we're back out here. Yesterday was a success and then not a success. So we went for a drive, made it to the gas station, filled up, put the fuel injector treatment cleaner in there, filled up the tank, went back down the road. We got a little bit of ways down the road, got to a stop sign where I heard some hissing coming from the the front of the car somewhere. I was like, I don't know. Well, let's go stop back at the house, check it out. And I didn't see anything leaking. I checked the brake booster, all that stuff. There's no brake fluid leaking. So I was like, all right, whatever. We'll just go for a drive. So we got further down the road, and the hissing came back, and then I started feeling hot water on my leg. And I sat there and thought for a second, and I was like, oh, it's the heater core. The heater core's leaking inside the car. So I hauled ass back to the house. We ended up cruising it with no engine on, but we made it back. So now we have water all in the car, and thankfully I didn't put radiator fluid. It's just water. So hopefully the metal is all good, but we're going to remove the carpet now, get all the water up, and then get a plan of action for what's next. We still got to order a thermostat, a heater core, radiator hoses, and now a bunch of other stuff. So I'm gonna make a list, get a big order done at Rock Auto. We'll be back with another episode, diving into this, getting this wiring done, cleaning up the carpet, so on and so forth. But Sydney and I got a drift event to make. We also gotta go to the bookstore before, because Sydney's a weeb, as you can tell on her shirt. So with all that being said, I hope you liked the video. If you did, hit that like button. Also hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you next one. And Sydney,
See you next time.